So, listening can be really difficult. If you can read the words, it's easy, right? You can take your time, you can think about each word, you can think about the grammar. But when you're having a conversation, you can't do that. And so many people speak so fast. You can't understand every word. Sometimes the other speaker's pronunciation is different. You're not used to it. Today, I'm going to teach you a few different ways that you can improve your English listening skills so you don't have these problems anymore. First, let's talk about what you can do to improve your listening. The very first thing I want you to try to do is relax. Just relax. Everyone gets excited when you are speaking another language. Me too. Relax. Everything's okay. Of course, there will be some words or even sentences that you don't understand. No problem. Just relax. It is okay if you don't understand everything. When someone is speaking to you, try to slow down your mind. When many people have a conversation, they will try to think of a response or think of what they want to say before the other person is finished speaking. If you're doing this, you're not listening to what the other person is saying. You are just thinking about what you want to say next. Wait till the other person is done speaking, and then you can think about your response. Now, don't forget, you can also use a person's body language, their facial expressions, the tone of their voice, and the context of the conversation to help you understand what they are saying. So, I will say it one more time. Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Now, let's talk about some ways that you can practice your listening skills. Of course, one of the easiest ways to practice is to watch a TV show or a movie or maybe a YouTube video. Try to choose something that you are interested in. Many students try to watch CNN or BBC News. I'm pretty sure that they are not very interested in the news. Watch something that you like, something that you enjoy. Do you like cooking? Watch a cooking TV show. Watch a YouTube video on how to make cookies. Me, when I studied Japanese, I often would use Japanese TV shows or movies to help me study. I would do this on the train, when I was going to work or coming home. I did this on my bike. I would do this when I got home and I was really tired. And I didn't want to study, so I would turn on the TV and just listen. It really helped me a lot. 芝居とろかお前。芝居とろか芝居。There are a couple of different ways that we can use those TV shows, movies, or YouTube videos. First, we need to understand the difference between passive listening and active listening. Basically, passive listening is when you're listening to something, but maybe you're doing something else at the same time. Maybe you're cooking or cleaning around the house. Passive listening could also be when you're just watching a TV show, but you're not taking any notes and you're not writing down any new words. You're not worrying too much about the parts of the TV show that you don't understand. Active listening is a little different. Active listening is when you are watching a TV show or a YouTube video and you are writing notes and you're writing down new words and you're writing down new phrases that you hear. You're looking at the transcripts or the subtitles and you're trying to study parts of the video that you didn't understand. Of course, passive listening is great and it's really good for people who are busy. Like I just said, I would very often do passive listening when I came home from work and I was really tired. Or when I was riding the train and I couldn't really write anything in my notebook. There are a couple of ways that we can do passive listening. The simplest is to watch a TV show or a YouTube video and you're done. You're finished. You don't watch that video again. You just watch a new video. Or we could do a laddered style passive listening practice. For example, let's say that you're going to watch a TV show. Let's say the TV show Friends. And on Monday, you watch the show and you use your native language subtitles. So the TV show characters are speaking in English, but the subtitles are in your native language. You watch the show. You're finished. Then, Tuesday, you watch the show again. But this time, you turn on the English subtitles. So now the characters are speaking English and what they're saying is written on the screen. This way, you can listen and read what they're saying. Then on Wednesday, you watch the same show again. Remember, this is the third time you watched this one episode, this one show. Now this time, you don't use any subtitles at all. You only listen to the English. The first time you watch, you understand the story. The second time you watch, you can use the subtitles to help you with the difficult parts of the show. Parts that you didn't understand easily. And the third time you watch the show, you are reinforcing everything that you learned. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be a TV show. It could be a YouTube video as well, or even a movie. But this is one of my favorite ways to do passive listening. Of course, we can also do active listening practice. Let me give you a couple of examples. Most English textbooks have a CD in the back of them. Or you can go to the textbook's homepage and download the CD. That CD has all of the conversations in that textbook. The textbook also usually has all of the transcripts of the conversations in the back of the textbook. We can use these to do some really good listening practice. In the morning, look at one of the conversation transcripts in the back of the textbook. Read it. Get an idea of what the conversation is about. Then, on your way to work or school, listen to the recordings of that conversation. Listen to that conversation 2 or 3 times. Then, when you come home from work, do it again. Finally, when you are at home, take a look at the transcripts and listen to the conversation one more time. Circle any of the words or phrases that you don't understand. Then look those words up in the dictionary and write them in your notebook. This style practice takes a little more effort and it takes a little more time, but it can be a little better than just passive listening practice. To be honest, usually you need a little bit of both. Some passive listening practice and some active listening practice. One important thing to remember is when you're watching a TV show or watching some YouTube videos, it can be a really good idea to try to expose yourself to many different accents and different ways of speaking. So maybe you watch a TV show from America for 1 week, and then the next week you watch a TV show from Britain. 1 week, watch a cooking show that has a younger person, and then the next week, watch a cooking show on YouTube that has an older person speaking. If you only listen to one accent or one type of speaking, it can be a little difficult to understand other people. Before I came to Japan, I studied standard Japanese. And in Tokyo, I could understand a lot of people. But when I went to Hiroshima, it was much more difficult. Also remember, don't only listen to English-speaking countries' TV shows or YouTube videos. Many of the people that you will speak English with in the world are not from these countries. Many of those people are like you. They are from countries that don't speak English. So sometimes their accent is a little different or a little more difficult to understand. A very simple and easy way to practice your listening is to record your English class and later review or listen to that class again. One thing that I would often do in my Japanese classes is bring a tape recorder into the class and record the entire class. So while I did this, I was taking notes and having conversations, practicing different words, but during class, I never had enough time to write all of the notes that I wanted to in my notebook. The teacher would be moving on to another thing, or I'd have to do a different practice exercise. So after the class was finished, I would go home and I would listen to the recording. And while I listened to the recording, I would take more notes, or I would change the notes that I already wrote. This was a great way to review that lesson and a good way to practice my listening. If you are living in an English-speaking country, this next method is very easy. But you can still do this even if you're living in your own country. Try to make an English-speaking friend. Or join some kind of club or a class where you can meet some English-speaking people. If you can, have a friend or maybe a girlfriend or a boyfriend, then it will improve your English very quickly, especially your listening skills. When I first started dating my wife, my Japanese listening really improved. I could understand everything my wife was saying to me. Clean up the kitchen, cook me lunch, I need more money, massage my feet. One important thing that you should do if you want to improve your listening is to make a study plan. So, what is a study plan? It's basically a schedule of all the different ways that you plan on studying or practicing for your English. For example, let's say that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're going to watch a TV show after work for 15 minutes. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you are going to use your textbook with a CD to practice. Then on Saturday, you're going to go to a local cooking class where you have met some English-speaking people and you've made a few friends. This is your study plan. It's a plan of how you will study. Try to make a month's plan. Try to think about how you can study for a month. And then stick to the plan. Follow that plan. When you make your plan, be a little careful. A lot of people are a little too ambitious. They put too much pressure on themselves. They put too much practice in their schedule. Start slow. Try to do 5 to 10 minutes a day. And then if you can do this, if you can continue this for a month, increase the amount of time that you practice. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Whatever, 20, 30 minutes. Do slow increases. Because if you plan on doing too much practice, usually you won't be able to continue and you'll get disappointed and then you'll give up. Okay, today's homework is really easy. I just gave you a bunch of ways that you can improve your English listening ability. In the comments section, tell me which way you think is the best for you and which way do you think you might try. Well, that's it for today's lesson. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments section below. If you liked today's lesson, please hit the like button somewhere and subscribe to our channel. Again, somewhere around here. My name is Randy League, and I will see you later.